the man who became the magnet. You'll learn how easy it is to trade hope for control, and why real strength starts with seeing the strings before anyone ties them around you. Story told by Alex Carter. I want you to picture a small, gray office lunchroom in Columbus, Ohio, 8 years ago. Plastic chairs, humming fridge, one broken clock on the wall. That's where we meet Matt Halpern, 29, broke, and newly fired from his coding job. He wasn't evil, just tired of feeling invisible. He sat there that night, scrolling job sites, when an old message lit up his phone. It was from his cousin Lori. "Need help with my online fitness group," she wrote. "Can you build me a page?" He shrugged, said yes. He didn't know one yes can steer a life. The group had 12 followers. They weren't into lifting weights, they were into wanting a fresh start. Matt saw the hunger first, not the people. He felt their likes land on his screen like warm rain, and something ancient woke up in him. He remembered how, back in school, kids would chase any kid who knew where the party was. He typed a post that night. Short, sweet, zero details. Something big is coming. Be ready. Then he turned the phone face down, heart racing at what he just felt. Within a week, the group doubled. Strangers asked what the plan was. He gave none. He posted sunrise pics captioned, "Your future waits." He called Lori's 24 followers, the first 50, even though there were only 24. He asked them to wear white on Wednesdays and tag him. Pictures started rolling in. People love feeling chosen. Give them a small badge, they'll sew it onto their soul. Matt's cousin grew uneasy. She pulled him aside at a barbecue, corn on the cob in hand. "I just wanted weight loss tips," she whispered. He smiled, told her, "We're past tips. We're building belief." She frowned, but the followers were flowing, so she stayed quiet. That silence felt like permission to Matt. Humans rarely stop a parade once the drums begin. Month 2, he rented a cheap dance studio. Friday nights he held free vision sessions. Dim lights, instrumental music, folding chairs in a circle. He spoke for 20 minutes, always ending with, "Imagine what we'll do together." He never said what the what was. He discovered vagueness is glue. The emptier the shape, the more faces fit inside. He also discovered uniforms sell commitment. He printed white shirts that read R1SC. He told the group, "One R, one heart, rise above." They paid $30 a piece for the shirt, plus shipping. Matt used the money to print more shirts. The machine fed itself. People walked grocery aisles wearing a word they couldn't explain. Strangers asked what R1SC meant. Wearers shrugged, then smiled, proud to belong to something they couldn't name. By winter, 200 people met every week. Matt hired an assistant who handled emails with the subject line, "I need direction." Direction cost $99 a month. For that, members got a weekly audio note, always under 2 minutes, always ending with, "Stand tall, family." No workouts, no meal plans, just a voice calling them family. When people feel family, they open wallets faster than when offered strategy. One night, a college kid asked in the session, "What exactly are we rising from?" A hush crawled across the room. Matt stepped into the middle, barefoot the way he always was now. He waited until the silence grew heavy, then whispered, "From the story that says you can't." Applause erupted. The kid teared up, nodded, sat. No one got an answer, but everyone felt relief. Hope doesn't require data, it just needs a place to breathe. Across town, Lori watched the live stream. She saw comments like, "This saved my life," flash across the screen. She felt a chill, remembering the same tone in videos of people selling miracle juices. She texted Matt, "You're scaring me." He replied with a thumbs-up emoji, nothing more. The next day he launched the R1 SE chain, a bracelet made of plain white beads. Cost to make 80 cents, price $25. He said the beads absorbed doubts. Within 48 hours, he'd sold 300. He began calling himself the Magnet, telling the group, "I attract what you need." Spring came. He organized the first ascension, a weekend retreat at a state park lodge. Ticket price $400, meals not included. 52 people arrived, clutching pillows and water bottles. They sat in a ring of candles while Matt walked the circle, touching shoulders, saying, "Release." By midnight, they were chanting R1SC in unison, voices echoing off pine walls. The park ranger knocked, asked them to keep it down. They quieted, waited until footsteps faded, then whisper chanted louder, thrilled by their own disobedience. Belief had become the fun they'd waited their whole lives to have. Sunday morning, Matt asked everyone to write a fear on rice paper. He collected the slips in a metal bowl, struck a match, and set them on fire. Smoke curled, cameras filmed. People cried, hugged, posted footage with the caption, "I left my fear behind." No one noticed Matt's assistant sweeping ashes into a trash bag minutes later. Symbols work only while people keep their eyes on the smoke. Back home, Matt tallied the weekend's profit, just over 14 grand. He felt a surge bigger than joy-proof. He realized if you let humans build a bridge together, they'll pay toll every mile and thank you for the road. So he promised ascensions every season. He also started magnet circles, small weekly groups led by senior members. They paid him a licensing fee to use the name. By summer, circles met in 4 cities. Matt attended none, but checks arrived in his mailbox. He bought sunglasses that cost more than his first car. He told followers luxury was a sign the universe rewarded belief. They agreed, then bought more shirts. One night, Laurie drove to the studio. She stood in the doorway, arms crossed. "You ever feel the weight of what you're carrying?" she asked. Matt leaned against the wall, arms also crossed. "I give people hope." She shook her head. "You're giving yourself their future." Before he answered, 2 newcomers bounced in, squealing at meeting the Magnet. Laurie watched him smile wide, hugged them, pose for photos. She left without goodbye. Later, she unfollowed every R1SE page. She felt weirdly guilty, as if quitting a family dinner early and hearing laughter continue without her. Autumn brought rain and something colder. A local reporter watched the videos. He smelled sales pitch under the smoke. He spent 3 weeks interviewing attendees, past and present. Some cried, describing lost savings. Others defended Matt like a big brother. The paper ran a long piece titled R1SC, Fitness or Faith. Matt read the article at dawn, alone, heart slamming. For the first time, words about him weren't written by him. He typed a reply on the group page, "Haters fear the light we share." 600 people shared the post. Controversy felt like gasoline on a candle. Growth flared bigger. But seeds of doubt sprout fast once soil turns. At the next ascension, only 30 showed. Phones stayed in pockets. When Matt yelled R1SC, the echo sounded thin. A man asked for his money back halfway through, said he needed rent more than beads. Matt froze. He realized the magnet can't push, he can only pull. Refunds don't fit the design. The next week, a Wednesday, the studio sat half empty. Matt stood barefoot in white jeans, staring at empty chairs. He asked, "Where is everyone?" An assistant murmured, "People are scared, man." He felt something crack inside, equal parts fear and relief. He'd wondered how far the wave would carry him. Now he saw the shore. Winter hit. He canceled the winter ascension, citing renovations, though no permits were filed. He posted inspirational quotes daily, but comments stayed in double digits, down from hundreds. One night he scrolled back to Lori's first message, 2 years earlier. His eyes lingered on the word help. He typed an apology, then deleted it. Pride is a hard thing to swallow after feeding it so long. In January, the lease lapsed. He swept candle wax into trash bags, stacked folding chairs, turned lights off one final time. Outside, snow salted the parking lot. He carried a box of unsold shirts to his trunk. The fabric once felt like wings. Now it felt like wet paper across his shoulder. He drove home watching rear-view reflections, half expecting followers to chase. Traffic stayed normal. The world, indifferent, kept moving. He sat in his living room, heater humming. He opened his laptop, saw the group page still alive with messages asking, "When's the next meeting?" He clicked settings, selected archive group, hesitated. He remembered the feeling of being center of a storm, how applause vibrates through ribs. He closed the laptop without clicking. Sometimes the hardest part of ending is admitting you might miss the crash. Next morning, he visited his old workplace, the one with the gray lunchroom. Security badge still worked. He found the fridge humming the same tired tune. He sat at the same plastic table, stared at the same broken clock. Minute hand still stuck at 9:17. He realized time had stopped long before he ever noticed. Outside, he phoned Lori. She answered on the second ring, cautious. He asked if she'd meet for coffee. She said yes, voice flat. They sat by a window, steam fogging the glass. He spoke first. "I didn't mean to hurt anyone." She nodded, stirring her drink. "I know. But meaning nothing isn't the same as doing nothing." He looked down, saw his own hands trembling. For the first time, he asked her, "How do I fix it?" She shrugged, kind but unsure. "Start by giving back what's in your trunk." That night he posted a public note, short, no symbols. "R1SE is closing. Refunds available, email with your order number." He expected a flood, only 43 wrote. Most had moved on to new groups, new slogans, new hope sold cheaper elsewhere. He mailed checks anyway. Each signature felt like signing away a tooth, painful yet lighter after. Laurie came over one evening, helped load remaining shirts into donation bins. She folded one, smiled small. "Remember when you just needed rent money?" He chuckled, half sad, half clean. They carried boxes to a shelter downtown. A kid pulled on a white R1SET, grinned at the soft cotton. Matt felt something unfamiliar relief. A shirt can mean nothing and still keep a body warm. Weeks later, he got hired at a library tech desk. Pay was half what he once made, but answers were clear. Book overdue, fee owed. No one chanted his name. He found that freeing. At breaks, he read about group psychology, crowd mania, ancient rituals. He underlined one line: people believe together what they would laugh at alone. He closed the book, stared out at quiet shelves, whispered thanks to whoever wrote it down. One spring dusk, Laurie invited him for a walk along the river. Geese honked overhead, light pink on the water. She asked, "Would you do it again?" He watched ripples spread from a skipping stone. "I still want a matter," he said. "But now I know the cost." If they don't see the real me, the numbers become a cage. She smiled soft. Then show up real. Start small. He bent, picked a flat stone, sent it skimming. It sank after 4 hops. 4, he thought, more honest than 1,000. He started a free Sunday run club the next week. No beads, no shirts, no refunds needed. He arrived with a paper sign, "Pace yourself." 5 people came the first week, 12 the next. They jogged, sweated, talked about jobs, kids, dogs. They shared water, not mantras. Matt ran at the back, quiet, watching strangers become neighbors. He felt something rise, not a brand, just a rhythm of feet on pavement, steady, real. One morning, a new runner asked, "What's our motto?" Matt laughed, breath fogging in the cold. "We run, we breathe, we go home." The guy blinked, then smiled. "Sounds about right." They set off together, no magnet, just motion. And for the first time, Matt felt the pull he'd always chased. Only now, no one was stuck to him, and he was glad. Summary: Matt learned the hard way that trading hope for blind loyalty builds castles in the air impressive until the wind shifts. When he faced the silence he'd created, he saw power gained through illusion costs twice. Once to the followers, once to the leader's own soul. The story shows that if you offer people vague dreams instead of honest respect, the wave lifts you high, then drops you alone. Real influence grows when you let people move freely beside you, not when you bind them with beads and slogans. Choose clarity over mystery, usefulness over hype, and you'll never need to worry about the ground beneath your feet disappearing.